So what I did was I went ahead and I had added UDAX as a contact and added a deal straight away. So this already has some quote information on it, but I'm just going to create a new one. So we'll create a new quote inside of HubSpot using Quote Happily.
AKA Quote Happily.
Yeah, exactly. And the nice thing I like about this is that you have everything input anyway. So we don't have to worry about re-adding, going to another system, having to add all the templated stuff that we need. It's pretty much all determined anyway. So we have in here, we've obviously got a couple of lines. Let's just remove these just now and we'll re-add them. Okay, so this is we've got some of our layouts here. So if we wanted to do it as a web page, we can choose that. So we'll go with the modern one. We can change the quote name. We can set the expiry date. We can set the domain that we want to do it from. Some of these are preset. We can also add the details. So we can add in some custom. We want to put some payment terms on there. So we can add in payment types. We can use e-signature. So I'm going to get Dax to sign it. And then we've got some payment terms. Now you can have payment terms and comments come through automatically. But if those aren't set up, you can choose them. We have some standard ones. So I'm going to drop them in there, save that. So that's now all updated. And the thing I'd like as well about this is at any point I can preview the quote in its current form. So this basically loads inside of Quote Happily. This kind of gives me what my quote template looks like. And you wouldn't know that it's not built out of HubSpot straight away. So if we go back to here, okay, I'm going to select a line item. Oh, sorry, I skipped a point there because you've got the price book. So we know this customer is a HubSpot customer. It's already selected using the quote rules to say, assign this price book. I'm going to come in straight into here and I'm going to add the AutoWise Sync app. So I'm going to throw this one on. Okay, so that's now added. It's then going to wait for a moment. It's going to automatically check and add the onboarding because I've got that as a mandatory item. So anywhere that OW Sync is specified, it's now going to add the onboarding in case I forget to add it. So we don't have to let the reps sort of try and think, do I need to add onboarding or not? We're going to tell them when it's necessary. And then what's going to happen is it's going to show the subtotal, which includes the first and the second line, but one's on a repeat. So this top one is every month, basically. So we can put in here 12 months. Billing start date is at payment and billing frequency is monthly. And then you'll see down here, just like in HubSpot, you've got the option to add in discounts, taxes, or fees. I'm sure Dax will show later. You can automate that as well. And once we're ready, we just hit publish quote. Give it a couple of seconds.
I just love how it looks like HubSpot, doesn't it?
Yep.
Like, where does Quote Happily start and HubSpot end? You know?
The lines are blurred.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Intentionally.
So now I've launched that page. That's literally just, it's got everything that I need on it, and I've hardly had to think about what I'm adding to that quote. And then the nice thing from here is that my deal will update. So if I just do this, it'll have updated with the line item values. So you'll see the values just change from 12,000 to 9,188. I've got the latest line items from that quote. And now all I want to do is say, right, actually, I want to generate a quote with important to actually do it as a different format. So I'm just going to run this, important. So it's going to load everything, including all objects that I can associate, that I have associated with this deal. So we've got the line items up the top. I could deselect which ones I don't want to appear, or I can leave them all. So I've got the contact, got the company, I've got meetings. I could, if I was listing any information relating to that, I could have them in there. And then I start the automation and then give it a few seconds to pop through, and then this will have loaded to the deal.
Yeah, with that other object thing, Daryl, the thing which we see people using that for is like if your quoting line items is disconnected to your actual deliverables, Sometimes people combine those on the same quote. So you say these are actually the costed items, and then underneath that is a separate table with these are all the actual things that you'll get from it, and those are two, like the deliverables is a separate custom object, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So now we've got this document open, so the PDF is here. You'll see here that it's taken in the product line name and then also the description that we have inside of HubSpot. So we formatted this to appear in a certain way. We've got the unit price, discount, the quantity, the terms, the net price for the full length of the contract, and then the single line items where there's no monthly amount. And you'll see all of our payment terms have appeared down the bottom, and then we've got the signatures, and I could fire this straight off to Dax to get done. And if I just a quick look, yeah, this one here. So I've now got this document, so I can load that PDF that's just been produced. And there you go. And I also have the link as well to the actual Word doc. So if I wanted to now make some changes and say, actually, do you know what? I'm going to add in a little note here about some additional payment terms, and then I'm going to send it off. I can do that straight away. So all of that kind of shows you the way that we can merge quoting with Quote Happily all the way to Portent. And there's obviously different things we can do. So I've got a couple of other different outputs. I've got, for example, the Cogent one pager, which I can run as well. So this is when, like, Dax, if you came to us and said, look, hey, can you just give me a one page about your information? You'll see here, look, it's prepared for Dax Miller at Happily, prepared by the deal owner on set date and time. And then that just gives a list of our services and what we're ready to do. And then the option for them to get a pricing estimate from our pricing page.
That's awesome.
Man, that is what's up. Like, I love like how seamless everything was. And you had like so many different options of different, I want to send an invoice. I want to send a quote. I want to send a confirmation. I want to say a shipment confirmation. You can kind of have all of this stuff. Like you're getting real Klaviyo with it here with your email. It's like email template automation, but with document driven. Like that's super nice. Like I appreciate that. So I wanted to shout out the people in the chat, make sure that we answer their questions. You know, Brianna, again, you can have, if you want to automatically have a quote that just always has line items in there. I know Daryl showed that a little bit. You can have any type of rule, which I'm going to illustrate shortly, to add line items automatically. So no matter, even depending on where the deal is in the stages, where the deal is in the particular stage, you get to kind of say, hey, I want to add these line items. I want to make sure that this is always there. Not only can you automatically add them, you can set rules to block the publishing of a quote if there's something not there that's supposed to be. So you have full flexibility. So just like Daryl said, I can kind of step back and not have to babysit, handhold throughout the quoting process, regardless of how complex your process is.